A wooden horse, a stolen queen, a city that held out for 10 years and fell in a single night. For more than 3,000 years, the fall of Troy has been remembered as one of history's greatest legends. A woman so beautiful that kingdoms burned for her. A city doomed by prophecy. A war that shaped the ancient world. Most people believed it was only a myth. Then, in the 19th century, archaeologists began digging beneath a hill in modern-day Turkey. What they uncovered changed the debate forever. Burned cities, bronze weapons, human skeletons, ancient tablets. This is the story of the Trojan War, and the evidence that beneath one of humanity's greatest myths there may have been a real conflict. Chapter 1. The Spark. Every war has a beginning. The Trojan War did not begin with armies or with the famous wooden horse. According to Greek mythology, the events that led to the Trojan War began not on a battlefield, but at a wedding. Whether these events actually happened is another question. But for the ancient Greeks, this was the story that explained how one of history's greatest wars began a wedding that would set gods and mortals on a collision course. The sea nymph Thetis is marrying the mortal king Peleus. Every god on Olympus is invited, except one, Eris, the goddess of discord. She was not going to be ignored. Eris crashes the feast and throws a golden apple into the crowd. Carved into it 4 words, "For the fairest." 3 goddesses reach for it at once: Hera, queen of the gods; Athena, goddess of wisdom and war; and Aphrodite, goddess of love. Zeus refuses to choose between them. So the gods do what gods always do. When they don't want the blame for what comes next, they hand the decision to a mortal. His name is Paris, a prince of Troy, though he doesn't know it. Before his birth, a prophet warned King Priam that this child would one day destroy the city. So the infant was left to die on Mount Ida. He didn't die. A shepherd raised him, and Paris grew up believing he was nothing more than a herdsman. Now 3 goddesses descend on this shepherd, each offering a bribe. Hera offers power. Athena offers unmatched skill in battle. Aphrodite offers something simpler and far more dangerous: the love of the most beautiful woman alive. Paris chooses Aphrodite. There's just one problem. The most beautiful woman in the world is already married. Paris is later welcomed back into Troy as the prince he actually is. No one, it seems, remembers to worry about the prophecy anymore. His sister Cassandra does. Cursed to see the future and never be believed, she looks at her own brother and screams that he'll bring the death of them all. Nobody listens. Nobody ever listens to Cassandra. Chapter 2. The Oath and the Muster. Her name is Helen, queen of Sparta, wife of King Menelaus. Paris sails to Sparta as a guest, welcomed into Menelaus's own home, and leaves with another man's wife and a fortune in stolen treasure. Menelaus returns to find his palace empty and his honor in ashes. He does not go to war alone. The Greece of this era was not a single nation. It was a collection of wealthy Mycenaean kingdoms, each ruled by its own king, from heavily fortified palace cities like Mycenae, Pylos, Tiryns, and Sparta. They often competed with one another, but they also shared language, culture, religion, and powerful alliances. Among them all, none was more influential than Agamemnon, king of Mycenae. With immense wealth, vast armies, and political authority, he became the leader capable of uniting rival kings behind a single campaign. If anyone could assemble the greatest military expedition the Bronze Age had ever seen, it was him. Years earlier, when Helen was still unmarried, every king in Greece had competed for her hand, and tempers ran so high that her stepfather demanded an oath from every suitor. Whoever she married, the rest would defend that marriage with their lives. It seemed like a formality then. Now, it's a summons to war, and every king who swore, it is bound by his own word. Odysseus tries to fake madness to escape the oath, but his deception is exposed. Bound by his promise, he joins the expedition to Troy. Achilles, hidden by his mother to escape a prophecy of dying young at Troy, is eventually discovered by Odysseus, and joins the expedition. Nearly 1,200 ships gather under Agamemnon, Menelaus's brother, the most powerful king in Greece. Before they can sail, the wind dies completely, and a prophet declares the cause. The goddess Artemis is furious, and the fleet won't move until Agamemnon sacrifices his own daughter, Iphigenia. He does it. The first death of the war, and Troy's walls are still hundreds of miles away. Chapter 3: 9 Years of Fire. The war that follows lasts 10 years, not 10 years of constant battle, 10 years of siege, of raiding nearby towns for food and gold, of soldiers growing old on a foreign shore, wondering if they'll ever see home again. Homer's Iliad captures only the final weeks of this decade-long nightmare, and at the center of it, a single quarrel that nearly unravels the Greek army from the inside. During a raid, Agamemnon takes a woman named Chryseis as a prize. Her father, a priest of Apollo, is refused when he begs for her back, so Apollo sends a plague through the Greek camp for 9 days straight. Forced to return her, Agamemnon seizes something of Achilles instead, Briseis, Achilles' own war prize, taken in front of the entire army as a deliberate humiliation. Achilles' response is not small. He withdraws from the war entirely. The greatest warrior in the Greek army sits in his tent and watches his own side die without him. And they do die. Hector, Troy's greatest champion and Paris's older brother, pushes the Greeks back toward their ships for the first time in 9 years. He is everything Paris is not: disciplined, selfless, fighting for the city he was born to protect. Then Achilles' closest companion, Patroclus, can't watch it anymore. He begs to wear Achilles' armor and lead his soldiers into battle just to save the burning ships. Achilles agrees, on one condition: drive them back and stop. Patroclus doesn't stop. Mistaken for Achilles himself, he drives the Trojans all the way to their gates, and there kills him. When word reaches Achilles, something breaks in him. Grief becomes rage. Rage becomes something almost inhuman. He returns to the battlefield, not for Greece, not for Agamemnon, for revenge. The two greatest warriors of the war finally meet outside the walls of Troy. Hector, knowing exactly what's coming, stands his ground anyway. He does not survive it. Achilles ties Hector's body to his chariot and drags it through the dust in full view of the Trojan walls, in full view of Hector's own father, for days. That father is King Priam, and in one of the most haunting scenes in ancient literature, he walks alone into the enemy camp at night and kneels before the man who killed his son. He kisses the hands that killed Hector, and he begs for the body back. Achilles, the man who moments ago seemed barely human, weeps with him. Two men with every reason to kill each other, grieving together instead. He returns the body and grants Troy a truce to bury their prince. It doesn't last. Later legend claims Achilles dies after an arrow strikes the one place his mother's protection never reached, his heel. Chapter 4: The Horse, the Fire, and the Proof. With Achilles gone, the Greek camp falls into chaos. 10 years in, countless dead on both sides, and Troy's walls still stand. The greatest warrior in Greece is gone. The greatest defender of Troy is dead. Yet the city refuses to fall. So the Greeks abandon strength and turn to deception. Odysseus, king of Ithaca, proposes a plan unlike anything attempted before. Build a massive wooden horse, hollow inside. Hide a carefully chosen group of warriors within it. Burn the camp, sail away. Leave the horse behind as an offering to the gods, convincing the Trojans the war is finally over. It is either the greatest military trick ever imagined or the greatest legend ever told. The Trojans wake to silent beaches. The Greek camp is deserted. Only the enormous wooden horse remains. Victory at last. Not everyone believes it. A priest named Laocoon urges the Trojans to burn the horse where it stands. Cassandra warns them too, just as she has from the very beginning. But once again, no one believes her. According to the legend, giant sea serpents rise from the sea and kill Laocoon and his sons. The terrified Trojans take it as a sign from the gods. Believing the war is finally over, they tear down part of their own walls, pull the horse into the city, and celebrate long into the night. Then darkness falls. The warriors hidden inside the horse climb down, silently kill the guards, open the city gates, and signal the waiting Greek army. By dawn, Troy is burning. King Priam is dead. The royal family is destroyed. After surviving 10 years of siege, the great city falls in a single night. For more than 2,000 years, this is where the story ended. A city destroyed by heroes, gods, and a wooden horse. A legend so famous that many believed it contained no real history. Then, everything changed. In 1870, Heinrich Schliemann began excavating the mound of Hisarlik, convinced it was ancient Troy. Many scholars dismissed the idea. What Schliemann uncovered changed the debate forever. Beneath the mound were the remains of multiple cities, built one atop another over nearly 4,500 years. Modern archaeologists believe one layer, known as Troy 7a, is the strongest candidate for the city that inspired Homer's epic. Dating to around 1200 BCE, Troy 7a shows unmistakable signs of violent destruction. Burned buildings, scattered weapons, and human remains all point to a city destroyed in war, rather than peacefully abandoned. None of this proves Achilles fought outside these walls, or that a wooden horse ever stood before the gates. But it does show that a wealthy Bronze Age city was violently destroyed at almost exactly the time Greek tradition claimed Troy fell. The evidence grew even stronger in the 20th century, when historians studying Hittite archives uncovered clay tablets referring to a kingdom called Wilusa, widely believed to refer to Troy, and another kingdom called Ahiawa, which many scholars identify with the Achaean Greeks. One treaty even names a ruler called Alexandru of Wilusa, a name strikingly similar to Alexandros, Homer's alternate name for Paris. We may never know whether Achilles was a real warrior, whether Helen's beauty truly launched 1,000 ships, or whether the wooden horse ever existed outside the imagination of ancient storytellers. But we do know this: there was a city, there was destruction, there was war, and somewhere, between the ruins buried beneath Hisarlik and the verses Homer sang centuries later, history became legend. Perhaps that is the greatest legacy of the Trojan War. Not that it was perfectly remembered, but that beneath one of humanity's greatest myths lies the memory of a real city that burned more than 3,000 years ago. The walls of Troy may have fallen, but its story never did. Because some stories outlive empires. They survive in memory, in myth, and in the endless search for the truth.